chances are that at this very moment you're procrastinating on something. Perhaps you're watching this video to do so. As I became hyper-aware of how I spend my time, I realized that I procrastinate a lot more than I had initially thought. This got me thinking. Why do we procrastinate when we know it's not our best interests to do so? How do we overcome it without hating ourselves or the methods we employ in the process? I met with researchers and combed through dozens of scholarly journal publications to find answers on these issues. According to Piers Steel, author of The Procrastination Equation, almost 95% of people admit to putting off work. And, in my opinion, the remaining 5% are lying. According to Tim Pitchell, author of Solving the Procrastination Puzzle, procrastination is a purely visceral, emotional reaction to something we don't want to do. The more uncomfortable you are about a task, the more inclined you are to put it off. Pitchell discovered a list of triggers that made a task appear more unpleasant in his research. Think about a task you're putting off right now. It's likely the task has many, if not all, of the traits Pitchell discovered make you procrastinate. The task is likely boring, frustrating, ambiguous, unstructured, not intrinsically satisfying, in the sense that you don't enjoy the process, and personal meaning is absent. On a neurological level, procrastination is irrational. When you choose Facebook over work or choose to watch another episode of House of Cards when you get home, the rational portion of your brain gives up. However, there is a way to give your rational side of the brain the upper hand. When you notice a clash between rational and emotion, try to resist the urge to procrastinate. To help you do that, here are the 5 simple steps to effectively stop procrastination. Step 1. Disconnect. Email, social media, and texting with friends and family are just a few of the distractions from our phone. Try to disconnect when you recognize you're procrastinating by using your phone. I'll even put my phone in another room and turn off my computer's Wi-Fi when I'm writing. Other times, I use an app like Freedom or Self-Control, which restricts access to distracting websites and requires me to restart my computer to gain access again. This may appear to be a severe measure, but when you disable digital distraction, you have no choice but to focus on what matters most. Step 2. Quantify and visualize the cost of procrastination. Try to list down the cost of procrastination. This strategy works best when you're putting off bigger tasks. While it may not be worthwhile to spend 20 minutes calculating the costs of not going for your nightly run, but calculating cost of procrastinating will be extremely beneficial when it comes to tasks like retirement planning. Add to your list that delay in investing for retirement might damage your social life, finances, stress, happiness, and health, among other things. Making a list of the tasks you put off, quantifying and visualize the cost of procrastination for each is a good idea to get yourself started on something. Step 3. Tackle the procrastination triggers. Consider which of Pitchell's procrastination triggers is caused by a dreaded activity. Try to think about the task in a new way to make the prospect of accomplishing it more appealing. Take writing a quarterly report. If you find this tedious, make it a game by seeing how many words you can churn out in a 20-minute period. You can even challenge yourself on the speed over time. You can also create a procedure that lays down the exact steps you and your team should follow each month to complete a work task if you find it confusing and unstructured. Try to understand why are you procrastinating and try to solve the root cause of it. Step 4. To get started, do something. I mean anything. It's much easier to stay continuing with a task once you've gotten over the initial hurdle of getting started. That's because procrastination-inducing chores are rarely as dreadful as we imagine. Starting something compels a subconscious reappraisal of that work, and we may discover that the actual task activates fewer triggers than we expected. According to research, we tend to have momentum on unfinished or interrupted work. It's like listening to a catchy music only to have it cut off in the middle, leaving you with the tune stuck in your brain for the rest of the day. Starting a task implies that you'll keep working on it, and that you'll be more inclined to return to it later. Step 5. Reduce time or effort per session. We resist doing a task that triggers procrastination. But how strong is our resistance? Let's imagine you're working on a project that requires you to sift through a lot of information. Consider how much time or effort you put into an activity on a decreasing scale to determine your resistance level. For example, could you devote an hour to reading? If no, how about 30 minutes? Reduce the time until you reach a point where you're less resistant to the task, and then complete it in more sessions. Using this way, you can build the momentum slowly and get things started. If you're anything like me, this proven 5 steps method to overcome procrastination is certainly going to make you more productive over time. That's all for today's video. I hope you find this video useful for you. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. See you on the next video.